Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Koide-san, and Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. Well, it's a pleasure to be with you here this morning here in Tokyo, and before we begin, I have a special announcement of gratitude that I want to make to a good friend of mine who's sitting right here. Uda-san, please stand up. So many of you know Uda-san, my good friend, now for more than 10 years. 10 years ago, I was looking for a great CEO of Salesforce Japan, and I locked myself in a hotel room. I think it was the Westin Hotel in the Ebizu district, across from our office. We had a very small office, maybe only a few rooms. Of course, Salesforce had a very strange Japanese name, Salesforce. No one had ever understood this company. What could this company be? Why would they be in Japan? But I met so many Japanese executives. Of course, I had a great experience in Japan. I love Japan. I had worked in Japan with Oracle, with Sano-san and Alan Miner for many years, but we needed to create our founder of Salesforce Japan. Who would be the founder of Salesforce Japan? And where would I find this person? And I remember the day when you first walk into my hotel room, and we sat down at the table to talk about, could you be the founder of Salesforce Japan and be our first CEO? And now it's more than 10 years ago. And look at what you have created. This great company, multi-hundred-million-dollar, incredible organization here in Japan, incredible tower at JP Tower in Maruuchi. We would never have thought it was even possible to be in this beautiful district, Japanese data centers, great customers, the best companies in the world, and the best companies in Japan using Salesforce, but also the Japanese government as such a major customer. All of this you did. And while you were doing all of this great work, you also did great service to a great Japanese society. You work with nonprofits, you work with non-governmental organizations, you help the poor, you also went and did charity work, and also when 311 crisis hit, you were the first to work with Ambassador John Roos, who's now on the Salesforce board, to help execute Operation Tomodachi. So Uda-san, now we know you're going to retire at the end of this year, and of course you found Koide-san, you recruited Koide-san, you told me that you wanted to retire, you went out and found your good friend and brought him in to make sure that our company would be taken care of. What can we say? But thank you, Uda-san. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Marc-san, thank you very much. Let me speak in Japanese, okay?
For many long years, thank you very much for your support. At the end of this year, I will be retiring from this company, and frankly speaking, I believe that this company is going to continue to grow more. But I looked back at the past 10 years, and I thought about 10 years ahead of us. Most likely, this company will become a completely different company. If we consider this as a 400-meter race, then it's like if the first runner continues to run, then you're going to lose. So we need to have a person who is appropriate for the next 10 years. And so, frankly speaking, I thought about Mr. Koide, and I have continued to have Mr. Kawahara with us, and so for the past 10 years, I have worked in the cloud. And if you look at cloud and pronounce it backwards in Japanese, then it's pronounced pleasure in Japanese, but that's not what I intend to do. But at any rate, there's a lot of potential for growth here in Japan. If cloud technologies are used, for example, in the leading edge medicine, I've met with Professor Yamanaka, and I think that in these areas, Japan can lead in the world, and so I hope that Salesforce can help there, and in energy or in the environmental issues, I believe that there is much that Salesforce can do, and in the new industry, I look forward to further growth and innovation here in Japan, and so I hope to continue to assist in this process. And so I'm sure there will be opportunities to meet with everyone here in the future as well. At any rate, I would like to express my gratitude for your support over the past 10 years. We started with 33 persons, and now we have over 600 persons, and I believe that our revenues have increased by 50-fold. This is all due to you. Thank you very much for your support. And I would like to request for your continued support. I believe that Salesforce will continue to do their best, and so please continue to support their efforts.
Great job. Thank you very much, Uda-san, and we are so delighted, and I know we will continue to work together, but I want to thank you for all of your hard work. Otsukare-sama deshita. And also, I want to say to you, Uda-san, that not only have you built a great company, built great customer relationships, you have done it with integrity, you have done it with energy, you have done it with vitality, and you have also done it with compassion. I remember a story when at Christmas time, you wanted to help children who do not have Christmas gifts. So you dressed up as Santa Claus, and you went out with Salesforce employees. But you decided to also go to a children's playground and go down a slide. But unfortunately, Uda-san, you did not realize that a Santa Claus suit would make you go very fast down the slide. And then you zoom down the slide as Santa Claus, but you hurt your back. So I was very sorry about that.
今のは実は個人に寄付しに行ってですね、それで
Time when I
サン
was
タの衣装
making
着されて
donations and I
滑り台
decided to dress up as Santa Claus, and someone asked me to go down the slide. I thought it was a small slide, and there was tremendous momentum when I went down, and I hurt my back.
Thank you very much, Uda-san. You do business right.
Yes.
You are a great innovator, you are a great leader, visionary, and also a compassionate heart. And you help the people who are less fortunate than you are. This is what we can all strive for in our business careers. You've set a great example. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you. Arigato. Well, I'm very happy to be back here in Japan, and this is, of course, my favorite country in the world, other than my home country. And I'll tell you that I always start every visit that I make here to Japan. I don't come to Tokyo first. You may know, I always mention this. I fly into Kansai, I go to Osaka, I drive to Kyoto, and I spend several days in meditation in the beautiful gardens and the beautiful temples of Japan. What a great example this country is and its culture, and shows the incredible respect it has for beauty, for the environment, for humanity. And I love this country. I love being here. I love the great people here. I love the every aspect of Japan. I had a great day on Tuesday. I went to the beautiful Saihoji Moss Temple and did incredible meditation and walking through the gardens. And then I had a great time to be able to go to the beautiful rock garden, Ryoanji, and see the master rock garden, which is so many hundreds of years old. And I was touring with my friend Yoshiki, who's a musician here in Japan, and he's also agreed to play today at 5 o'clock. So before Toyota-san and I have our conversation, Yoshiki will come in. And if you have not had an opportunity to hear Yoshiki, he's an amazing example of talent of Japan. Of course, he's a great rock and roll performer, the leader of Band X, but in a very unusual, and maybe he's the only musician in the world who not only is at the top of his game in rock and roll, and just played Madison Square Garden in New York, but is an amazing classical pianist and just released his classical album. So I've had an amazing trip already to Japan, but I'm extremely happy now to be here. And I'll tell you why I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be here because of something so simple. That is, our industry is changing, and that's what I love about my job. I love my job because I love the change that's going on in our industry. And I love to be able to talk about that change, evangelize that change, and explain it to our customers so they can prepare their own companies and their careers for this change. This is the most important thing that we can do as executives in the IT industry, is prepare our companies and ourselves for the changes that are happening. Because very simply, Well, change is inevitable. You just look at the history of our industry. Of course, we always started out in these mainframe computers. Happened right here in Japan as well with Fujitsu. Well, we had mainframe computers where we had maybe thousands of computers and IBM computers. But then we moved from these mainframe computers, and where did we go? We went from the mainframe and we went into the personal computer, and we ended up with millions of computers. And we went from millions of computers, and now, of course, we're in an unbelievable situation with a huge explosion of CPUs all over the world. How many people today brought their smartphone like I did to this event? Raise your hand. Put your smartphone up if you have it so you can show me. And also, not only our smartphone, how many people here have more than one smartphone with them? How many have 2 smartphones with them or 3 smartphones? Yes. We have a special session for crazy people also later who have too many phones. Billions of phones, which are now our main computing device, soon to be 5 billion of these incredible smartphones in the world, that are far more powerful than that Fujitsu mainframe. And yet they are also deeply connected into the fabric of our life, connected to our beautiful Canon cameras, and connected to our beautiful Toyota cars, and connected to all the businesses that we do business with, like Sampo. So if we have an insurance policy, it's part of our life right on the phone. And of course, it's all made possible by our telecommunications companies, like NTT, or like KDDI, or SoftBank, who are providing these incredible new high-resolution services all over the country. Well, it's a complete transformation of how we do computing and how we think about computing when everything is connected. But it's not just about billions of phones. It's also about trillions of customer transactions. And this trillions of customer transactions is creating an avalanche of data, and we're going to talk about that in a second. I mean, there is so much more data now than ever before. And it's going to be true 10 years from now. We won't even be able to look back and say we were even at the beginning of the data revolution. We're just starting at the data revolution. We are seeing today the biggest shift in technology ever. We're seeing today the biggest shift in business ever. We all know that. We all see companies being disrupted. We all see companies changing. We all know we have to go faster. We all know that speed is the new currency of business. But how do we go faster? How do we transform? How do we evolve? How do we do these things? And how do we do it all in a way that will make us successful? Well, that's why I like to start my trip in Kyoto, because I believe very much in kind of this concept of a Zen Buddhism, the beginner's mind. That is, clear our minds, start from the beginning. Before we actually go forward, let's just let go of the past. Let's forget about all of these things that have happened. And instead, let's just focus on this incredible future. Because we know that this future is going to be dominated by, of course, cloud computing. I remember the first time I came here to Japan 15 years ago to talk about cloud computing. Maybe there were only 4 or 5 people in the room. Not very many. I was not here at the beautiful Tokyo Prince Tower Hotel. No, it was a much smaller group, and many people did not believe cloud computing would happen. But of course today, cloud computing is the biggest, most exciting, and fastest growing part of our entire industry. And it's not just about cloud computing. I remember the first time I was here in Japan talking about social networks and the power of social networks. And we've all seen how that has transformed our lives and how we can bring systems of engagement into our business as well. That these ideas of collaboration and sharing are not just about the consumer world, they're also about the business world and about bringing these two worlds together. And in addition to mobility, we now see huge breakthroughs in data science and deep learning and artificial intelligence, and perhaps this is the most exciting shift that's happening today in our entire industry. I mean, there's companies today that are providing levels of analytics, predictive analytics, artificial intelligence that we've never seen happen before on computers. The computers themselves are becoming somewhat conscious and aware. That's incredible. And we're going to see 1, 2, 3 decades from now a revolution in data science the way that we've seen a revolution in cloud computing. Well, not any one of these things by itself is that revolutionary. Cloud computing, the mobile revolution, social, data science. But when you put these four things together, that is what you really have to pay attention to and how it's going to change your business. You really need to think about when the world is 100% cloud, when the world is 100% social, when the world is 100% mobile, when the world is 100% data science, what does your business look like? What will your business look like when these four huge mega trends have really taken over the world? How will it change who you are as a car company? How will it change who you are as a camera company? How will it change who you are as a media company? How will it change who you are as a financial services company? Because every single business changes. And these are the four key pivots going forward. That is clear as day. And we've seen amazing companies be able to take on this idea and build huge industries in a very short amount of time. Well, a great example perhaps is a company in San Francisco called Uber. And it used to be if I wanted to get a taxi, all I had to do was make a phone call and the taxi might come, but I wouldn't know how long they were going to come for. Now I just take out my mobile phone, I press a button, and I watch a little picture of the taxi come to pick me up. And that company has become the largest taxi company in the world in only 5 years. And how do they do it? They do it with the cloud, 100%. They do it on social networks, 100%. They do it on mobile, 100%. And they do it with data science. And this is something that we can learn from in how we're going to conceptualize our businesses going forward. Look, the question is not, is this happening? It's happening. The question isn't that, is our industry changing? It's always changing. The only constant is change. The only constant is transformation. The question isn't Japan going to participate in this economy? It is. It's leading this economy. Many of these technologies were created here in Japan. We've all witnessed that. The only question is this: are you ready for the change? Is your company ready for the change? And are you individually, as a person, ready for the change? Have you changed your career? Are you becoming an expert in the cloud? Are you becoming an expert in social networks? Are you becoming an expert in mobile? Are you becoming an expert in data science? Because today, it's not about being an expert in mainframes. It's not about being an expert in LANs or WANs. It's certainly not an expert about being an expert in PC operating systems. We know that's the past. It's not the future. The whole thing now is we have to transform ourselves and our companies to be ready for this incredible new transformation around these four pivots. And that is why Salesforce is so successful, because we've aligned our business around that. That's why we're the fastest growing enterprise software company, over $1 billion in revenue. And now we're the 5th largest enterprise software company in the world, as you saw from our last quarter. Well, when I first came to Japan, we were not the 5th largest enterprise software company. We were not the #1 CRM company. We were not the most innovative company in the world, according to Forbes magazine 4 times in a row. We were not Fortune magazine's most admired software company. No, we were none of those things. We were a company with a simple idea that we knew the future was coming. And the future was going to be about the cloud. We didn't know about social and mobile, and we didn't know about data science. But as those things emerged, we integrated those into our vision. And that is what we recommend to you, for you, in your companies, and what we recommend to you as individuals, is that you learn as much as you can about these 4 things, because it is happening. And who's the #1 person who knows the most about it? Who is the #1 person who has the command and control and knows the most about social and mobile and social and data science? Who expects the most? Who expects you to know more than they do? Very simple. Your customer. Because it's your customer that you should be most focused on right now. You have to pivot to your customer, or you're going to be like the taxi company that no longer gets the phone call in San Francisco because everyone is using Uber. Because that new next generation customer, whether it's a business customer or a consumer, is on their phone. They're on the social network. And they expect you to give them information in a smart way that's associated with data science. And how will you do that? So that your salespeople can connect with the customer, so that your service people can connect with the customer, so that your marketing people and your executives can connect with the customer. But the problem is very simple. There's a gap between our customers and our companies. Well, how are we going to solve this gap? How are we going to solve it? There's only one way we know. We have to engage our customers in new ways, through these mobile experiences, through new connected products, where the product itself is connected, that the car is connected, the wearable is connected. And not just that, the camera is connected. Every product is connected. And we have very specific one-to-one experiences that the customer realizes, oh, I understand, I need to take a next step. I need to take a next action, prompted through data science. And that's the future. That's where this is going. We know that if we can do this, we will get a 23% return. That's what our customers have said. That is what our industry researchers have told us. This is about customer-centric engagement. We all know we're more successful when we're engaged. So we need to be more engaged than ever before. And the way to do that is so simple. It's to embrace these new technologies, to build a connected vision for our companies and ourselves, and what else? To become a customer company and to become a customer executive so that you, as a company, can be a customer company pivoted towards your customer, not towards your reseller, not to your shareholders, but to your customers. Your customer is your most important stakeholder, and you have to be focused on the customer more than ever before. This is a Japanese concept. This is a Japanese concept, which is make sure that you are focused on your customer. But the way you're focused on your customer has to change. It has to evolve to be and happen through a connected experience. That's why we're building our customer success platform, and that it has sales and service and marketing and community and analytics and apps all as an integrated system. One integrated system of shared services across all of these applications. Yes, your salespeople need to be connected. Yes, your service people need to be connected. Yes, your marketing people need to be connected. Yes, you have to build communities of your customers, of your partners, of your product managers, of your most loyal people. Of course, you have to have analytics. Yes, you have to build apps. You have to be a cloud company yourself. Salesforce doesn't have to be just a cloud company. No. We're not the ones who need to be a software company. We're not the ones who need to be a cloud company. We're not the ones who need to be a mobile company. You have to be. You have to be a software company. That new next generation taxi company is a software company. It's not a taxi company. And every company has to become a software company. Every company has to be a cloud company. Every company has to be a data science company. That's the power. And that's why we're building this platform with shared data and shared workflow and shared reporting, shared collaboration, the APIs, and the identity systems, a whole infrastructure that runs right here in Japan to support you, to help you build the company that you need to build to be successful. Because you have to change and transform. You have to evolve. You have to go forward. We all do. We all do. We all know Toyota-san is going to come and speak today, and Toyota-san is going to come and speak at 5 o'clock. But we know that Toyota-san cannot deliver a car today that looked like the car from 10 years ago. Toyota-san has to deliver a connected car, a collaborative car, a car that's not just connected to the driver, but a car that lets the driver also connect with the dealer, that allows the car to also connect with the factory, that allows the car to talk to other cars, to allow also a complete transformation of the community experience so I can talk to other drivers. And what's the next generation? Self-driving cars. We've already seen the self-driving cars on the streets in many cities now around the world. This will be a huge transformation based on what? Cloud, social, mobile, and data science will be the 4 tenets of the self-driving car. Think about it. It's a great example of this next generation world that we're about to go into. And you look at the companies that are pioneering self-driving cars, and you look at the concept of a self-driving car, and it is truly a cloud car. A car that has all four of those characteristics is the self-driving car. And we all know that that is what Toyota-san has to envision and see that it's coming. Because Mercedes already has it on the streets in Palo Alto, and Tesla already has it on the streets in Palo Alto, and Toyota's an investor in Tesla, and Google has it on the streets in Palo Alto, and the self-driving car is real. So it's a transformation of the car. And that means it's a transformation in the sales experience and how you sell cars, how you insure cars. Who's driving the cars? Who owns the cars? And it's not just a transformation of sales, it's a transformation of service. We've already seen the next generation of healthcare. The next generation of healthcare is these amazing ultrasound machines. But the ultrasound machines who are there with the doctors themselves are intelligent. Through data science, they're able to look at the scan or the image and say, I see the image, I see the scan, and I'm looking also simultaneously at 50,000 other images of a lung or of a prostate or of a liver or of a brain. And I can see, because of the image that I have on the screen, that you actually have nothing, you're totally healthy and perfect, or you probably have this situation. And how does it know? Because it's talking to an image database that's in the cloud. It's working with social networks between other radiologists. It also is operating on a mobile environment. This is an ultrasound that looks like a traditional ultrasound. Next generation ultrasounds are just built right onto my iPhone, where it's a $50 attachment that plugs into my iPhone and it becomes an ultrasound machine. And the tablet is an ultrasound machine. Not necessarily a big ultrasound machine like this, like in a Western country, like America or Japan, but the next version of ultrasound that's cloud and social and mobile and data science and deep learning makes it possible. Makes it possible for the next generation of ultrasound, and it has to be a service revolution. And how the radiologists and the doctors and the patients are all working together. And you can move on to health. Look at this, it's a marketing revolution where I'm wearing a wearable. I have a wearable, it's counting my steps as I walk around this room. And the wearable also has 3 sensors on it, like the Apple Watch, that gives me my heart rate, it gives me my blood pressure, and it gives me my insulin level all simultaneously just by wearing a watch. And then what is that system doing? It's telling me, well, you've maybe flew too much, you might need some water right now, you need some more exercise, you need to get your heart rate up, oh, your stress is high, your stress is low, you're feeling good, you need to do some meditation right now. Oh, no, you need to go see the doctor right now, your heart is not at correct rhythm. It's a complete transformation when it gets to the whole vision of health through wearable technology. Because we're connected. And what are the 4 keys to wearable technology that make all of this possible? That will be able to actually give us the vision of, are we healthy or are we not healthy? Again, it's the cloud, it's social, it's mobile, and it is data science. And these 4 things are transforming all of these areas. We just did 3 really good examples between the very concept of the car changing, the changing of an ultrasound machine, and the fundamental change of a watch. The watch is not just 18-karat gold and beautiful thing I have on my wrist, but the watch is a completely integrated part of my lifestyle and my health and fitness going forward. And then we move on and we keep going. And we can see a complete transformation of how I work with retail. So I want something, I'm going to buy something. I think I see something on the internet that I want to buy. Maybe I go to a store. Maybe I want to have it delivered. At Dreamforce, you saw how we delivered it by drone, and the drone delivered the product. It's a complete transformation of the retail experience. Maybe there's a 3D printer in my house, and I'm buying this product, and it's just going to be printed right in my house. Maybe I don't have to actually go to a store to receive it. It will just be printed for me. And that is the future of retail, is that manufacturing becomes disintermediated right into the home. And again, it's through these 4 areas. That's amazing. And all of the customers are together helping each other, making changes, mass customization, changing designs, sharing designs. Oh, I made a change to this. Oh, yeah, I have a doll for my child. but I made it this color, and I gave it this dress, and I gave it this hair, and would you like that design? Yes, I want that design, and print it out now at my home for my child. Oh, that's great, thank you. Yeah, the community revolution, where the community is as important in building the product as your own employees. And that 3D printers become a huge part of the retail chain, and drones and all this next generation technology is completely transform the supply chain. And of course, it's about the cloud, it's about social, it's about mobile and data science. These are the 4 areas that we have to master. Because every company is becoming a cloud company. It doesn't matter if you're Coca-Cola. It doesn't matter you're making a soft drink. How are you going to sell more effectively to your retailers? How are you going to connect to your consumers? How are you going to tell them that your product is healthy for them and that it works well for them? And when they use the product, you can show them specifically the performance characteristics of their body based on their consumption of the product. It's all right there. It's all right in front of us. A complete transformation of how we look at Coca-Cola itself. And how does Coca-Cola transform to become a software company, a cloud company that's able to deliver this amazing vision? That's the future. That is the future. And when you put it all together, you start to see it's all built around this concept of a data revolution. Because 90% of the world's data was just created in the last 2 years. Isn't that amazing? 90% of the world's data was created in the last 2 years, but that's just the beginning. That is just the beginning. Because all of these connected products and all of us are connected in the huge, huge transformation and explosion of sensors, not just on our body, but in our whole environment. Maybe it will help us reduce carbon emissions if we can understand our environment better. The transformation of sensors, the transformation of all of this amazing technology. This is the shift that we have to go through. And are you ready for that shift? Is your company ready? Does your CEO understand this? That's why we go to CEOs to help them understand this. That's why we go to CIOs to help them understand it. That's why we go talk to line of business executives to help them understand it. Sales executives, service, marketing, human resource executives. They all have to change, they all have to transform, because the whole world is transforming and changing. And you can't do things the way you used to do it. It doesn't matter if you're a bank, it doesn't matter if you're a locomotive company, it doesn't matter if you're selling boats, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you better change. Because these shifts are the biggest, most exciting shifts that have ever happened in our industry. And as a customer success platform, helps us bring it all together. A platform that's in the cloud, that's massively customizable, with workflow and metadata and everything you need to be successful. And it's all right there. Everything you need to be successful is all right there on the customer success platform. And it doesn't matter what kind of company you are, whether it's GE or Sampo or Konica Minolta, you have to change and transform now. You have no choice. This is not going to escape any company or any individual. That is why we are here today. The people in the room and the people online, we're here to share our collective experience, to look at this change, to look at how computing is changing rapidly. And what we're going to do by industry and by company to make the change happen.